टॉपिक तो खत्म होगा। शुरू हो गया। Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rajendra Bhori, and today we are going to discuss about tomato seed production. So as you are well aware about that, the tomato is very important vegetable crop, or we can say tomato is a fruit vegetables that belongs to family Solanaceae. So however, this tomato encounter the so many problems, and in the tomato is basically based on the growth habit is two types, determinate and indeterminate. So determinate type tomatoes we cultivate in open field conditions, that is the bushy in nature, and indeterminate type tomatoes are cultivated in protected environment. So today we will discuss in detail about tomato seed production. Tomato is one of the most important vegetable crops grown extensively in the tropical and subtropical belts of the world. So you are looking here mentioned that extensively in the tropical and subtropical belts of the world. Then you can ask me why not in temperate regions? So, okay, no problem. Actually, tomato is a warm season vegetable crops, and tomato is also cultivated in the temperate regions, but only in protected environment. Protected environments means in greenhouses or polyhouses. So normally tomato was grown only in warm seasons. So particularly we can say the February, March to April, May. But right now, tomato is a very important vegetable crop that is also considered as the protective food crop. So right now, this crop is cultivated round the year. So basic nature of this tomato is warm season crops. That's why it is very important, particularly in tropical and subtropical belts of the world. So it is grown mainly fresh market and to a little extent for processing. So however, in the classification of the tomatoes is different types. So we can say the mostly these tomatoes are cultivated for fresh market, as well as the some special type varieties we grow so that we can harvest in the or ripe stage that used particularly for processing. So in processing, we can prepare the tomato sauce, tomato ketchup, and we can say the tomato porridge, and also the tomato juices, etc. And also we can prepare the other products too. So increased attention is now being bestowed to breeding and production of tomato. So we can see the due to increasing demand of the tomatoes for fresh market as well as the for processing as well as the for other purposes. So right now we are focusing on the breeding work to improve the tomato varieties. So maybe you heard about the flavor sour, that is the gene in tomatoes, because you know the tomato is perishable commodity. So due to the short shelf life of tomatoes, the flavor saver gene is introduced in tomatoes to increase the shelf life of tomatoes. Production of tomato can further be increased if improved cultural practices are combined with good quality seeds. The quality seed production techniques in tomato comprises of the following steps. So, as you are aware that the tomato is now very important vegetable crops, we can say the without a tomato, it's very difficult to complete, or we can say the cook other vegetables, because in all green vegetables we add the tomatoes. And tomato we can grow round the year in all seasons, winter, or we can say the cool season winter, summer, as well as the in springs. So that's why the production of seed of tomatoes is plays very important role. So improved cultural practices of tomato is very important to produce the quality seeds of tomato. So what is the botanical name of tomato? Then Solanum lycopersicum, and maybe in old literature you can see this one is the Lycopersicum esculentum. But now this from esculent Lycopersicum genus, this is again included in the genus Solanum, and this one is the belongs to family Solanaceae. So other crops, other vegetable crops from this family is potato, chili, capsicum, and brinjal, and also the in terms of the cash crop is tobacco. So chromosome number of tomato is 2n is equal to 2x is equal to 24. So we can say this is a diploid. And what is the basic chromosome number of tomato? Then we can say the 12. So X is equal to 12. And tomato is originated from Mexico. So we can say the in early 16th century, it was originated in Mexico, and this potato is, I mean the tomato was grown as wild plant, and it is domesticated and in Peru and Mexico. And after that, Portuguese brought in India as well as the other countries. So they introduced tomatoes to other parts of the world. So now varieties. So at the beginning of this topic, I told you tomatoes based on the growth habit is two types, determinate and indeterminate. So first we are going to discuss, or I am telling the some important varieties of indeterminate type. So indeterminate type varieties are suitable for protected environment, that we can see in greenhouses or polyhouses. And main characteristics of this is a vine type varieties, vine type plot. So we can say the important varieties in indeterminate group is Usa ruby, Solangola, Yaswant, that is also known as A2, or Sioux, Marglo, Naveen, Tom 9301, and Salimar 1, Salimar 2, Angur Lata, Solan Bajar, and Solar Sagun, Arka Vikas, and Arita Saurabh. So these are the commercially important varieties in indeterminate group. Now I am telling the some important varieties that are commercially grown in determinate type varieties. This is a bushy in nature, and we can grow this group in open environment. So in open conditions, Its important varieties are Roma, that is also known as EC 13513, then Rupali, then MTS 15, then PTOM 18, then BL1, BL2, and HS101 or HS102, HS110, 110. So this HS is for Haryana selection. So we can see the Haryana selection 101, Haryana selection 102, and Haryana selection 110. The next variety is Pusa early dwarf, Pusa Seetal, and Floradale, Arca Megli, or CO1, CO2, CO3. So these varieties released from the Coimbatore. So CO1, CO2, and CO3 released from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore. So that is the Marutham. Then PKM1 and PY1. So these are the varieties under the group of determinate, so that we can cultivate in open environment. Then hybrids. So hybrids are COTS1, Panth hybrid 2, Panth hybrid 10, KT4, Pusa hybrid 14, Arka Sreshta, Arka Vardhan, Arka Abhijit, Novel 1 and Novel 2, that is Sandoz, and Rupali, Sonali, and MTS 6. So these are the tomato hybrids. So right now these hybrid varieties are commercially cultivated throughout the India. Or in terms of the botany, tomato is a typical day neutral plant. So this one is also important reason. That's why we can grow tomatoes round the year. So I mean we can grow all 12 months because tomato is typical day neutral plant. So no effect of photoperiods on the production of tomatoes. And it requires temperature of 15 to 20 degrees Celsius for fruit setting. So already I mentioned this is a warm season crop, but for the maximum fruit set, 15 to 20 degrees Celsius temperature is excellent. So sometimes when we grow tomatoes in winter season, so these tomatoes face the problem of fruit set because the required temperature of 15 to 20 degrees Celsius not meet out. So tomato is self-pollinated crop, so that's why it's no major issue in terms of the fruit set. And self-fertilization is favored by the position of receptive stigma within the corn anthers and the normal pendant position of the flower. So this is the normal thing, or we can say the common thing for fruit set. Stigma must be receptive, so anthers reach on the stigma, and if stigma is receptive, so pollen grains will germinate and then will make the pollen tubes. And already I told you that will make the fertilization with ovules, and after that the fruit set occurs. So the quality seed production techniques in tomato comprises of the following steps. So in this one, the land requirement, then isolation requirement, seed rate, nursery, transplanting, manuring, roguing, planting ratio, harvesting seed extraction and processing, drying and grading, then storage. So first requirement is land requirement. So in how much area we are going to do seed production of tomatoes. So that land we have to prepare by cross plowing as well as at the final cultivation. Final plowing, we have to add the uh, sufficient quantity of well-rotten farmyard manure or compost, vermicompost, etc. And after that, after mixing of this organic manure, or we can also, after that, we have to do the leveling. Then after leveling, if we are doing the seed production of different varieties of tomato, then at second step, we must maintain the proper isolation distance between one variety to other variety. So no mixing up of genetic material in those varieties. So no admixture of these. Then seed rate. So what is the seed rate of tomato? So based on that, we have to uh, arrange these seeds. After that, nursery. So in nursery, you know the tomato is transplantable vegetable crops. So first we have to raise the seedlings. Then when seedlings are 4 to 6 weeks old, then we have to do the transplanting as per the prescribed plant row to row and plant to plant distance. Then we have to do the watering just after transplanting, or in terms of the manuring. So organic manure already be added at the time of field preparation, and we can see the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So we can see the complete dose of phosphorus and 1/3 part of nitrogen as well as 1/2 potassium we have to incorporate at the time of final field preparation, or then 1/3 remaining third 1/3 part of the nitrogen and potassium we can say the 45 days after transplanting, and after that we have to apply the remaining last dose of 1/3 part of nitrogen too. Then roguing. So you are well aware about the tomato that is belongs to family Solanaceae, and in Solanaceae vegetables is major issue of viral diseases. So if we notice the any viral infection in those crops, so we can say the off type plants, and we can say the small leaves. So in disease infected plants, we have to do roguing. So roguing means the uprooting and completely destroying. Then planting ratio. After that, when tomato fruits are ready for harvesting, then we have to allow so to all tomato fruits must be mature on the tree. So all ripe fruits we have to do harvesting, and after that, by the different methods we have to extract the seeds, and seeds never allow in the tomato juices, otherwise it can cause the dormancy. So immediately we have to extract the seeds, then we have to do the washing with fresh water, then drying. After drying we have to do the grading, then labeling, and at the end we have to do storage of seeds, or we can do the packing and packaging in different shapes, and we can say the in containers. After that is ready for sale. So here you are looking the floral structure. So longitudinal section of tomato flowers, accent. So tip of the pistils. So you can see here stigma style and ovary. This is a male part, okay, and female part, okay. So in this on this stigma, when receptive, so pollen grains transfer on this, and after that pollen grains germinate and make the pollen tubes reach in the ovary, and with the ovules that fertilize. This is the procedure of the fertilization and seed set. So thank you.
राइट कि इसका यूज करते हैं तो हम ये वाली चीज ज्यादा यूज करते हैं ये वाली ये सही को है ऐसा लग रहा है छुट्टी आ जाएगी वीडियो बना रहे हो हमारे एक मिनट अब स्टार्ट करना अब स्टार्ट करिए देखिए मुझको
दूर हो जाओ
रुको
आईडी कार्ड दे दे इसमें
मैंने ये लो निकाल लो
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Rajendra Maurya, and today I am here to discuss the maturity, harvesting, and post harvest handling of fruits and vegetables. Maturity. So, it is the stage of fully development of tissues of fruits and vegetables, only after which it will ripen normally. So we can say maturity is a stage of fruits. So we can say the after attaining the maturity, no further growth or development. That is the last stage. After that, the development in terms of the size, or we can say the shape, or in terms of the weight, is no further increase or no further development. So that is the last or final stage of development of tissues. So after attaining the maturity, the fruit will start only ripening process. So in ripening process, starts the biochemical changes within the fruits. So we can say in terms of the maturity, we can classify in three: immature fruits, mature fruits, and ripened fruits. So immature fruits are not good except some like the cucumber and okra, because cucumber and okra is harvested at tender stage. So especially in fruits and fruits we harvest at fully maturity stage. So after that, ripening process starts in that. So you know, based on the maturity or ripening process, the fruits are categorized into groups: non-climatic fruits or climatic fruits. So in climatic fruits, if we harvest at full maturity stage, after that ripening process starts automatically. But in non-climatic fruits, ethylene evolution is very low, very slow. So that's why no fast ripening process in that. So non-climatic fruits like citrus fruits, grape, and also we can see the pomegranate. We harvest fully mature and almost fruits are ripened. But in case of the climatic fruit like banana, mango, papaya, uh, custard apple, etc., they ripe after maturity. So if we harvest from the mother plant, so ripening process will be continue. So maturity is viewed as natural phenomenon in plant biology. It is generally considered as stage of development where plant is superimport and capable of shifting from vegetative to reproductive stage. Then maturation is process by which fruit and vegetable develops from immature to mature stage. Immature to mature stage. Generally, mature is considered as the attainment of full size and shape by the fruit or stage between fruit growth and to beginning of ripening period. But being a horticulturist, the maturation means stage of development leading the attainment of physiological or horticultural maturity. So already I told you at full maturity stage, maturity considered the fruit attains maximum or we can say the full size as well as the development. After that, no changes in size, no changes in shape, or no changes in the weight. And already I told you in some horticultural crops, cucumber and okra, they are the horticulturally mature because cucumber and okra we harvest at tender stage. If we wait for full maturity, after that no market value of these fruits. So that's why it will depend on commodity to commodity. So we can take the decision accordingly. So during the process of maturation, the fruits receive a regular supply of food material from the plant. So you know the in all plants they contain the chlorophyll and that is the during the photosynthesis process manufacture the food material and that food material is stored in the stem tree trunk or we can see the root systems and during the maturation process that stored food material will be utilized from the plant for the development of fruits in terms of the size and shape as well as the weight. Types of maturity. So maturity is different types in horticulture. So these are four types: physiological maturity, horticultural maturity, and commercial maturity. So fruit maturity, we will discuss one by one now. Number one is the physiological maturity, attainment of full development of stage, full development of stage just prior to ripening or ripening in non-climatic fruits and vegetables produced for seed production. It refers to the stage in the development of the fruits and vegetables when maximum growth maturation has occurred. It is usually associated with full ripening in the fruits. The physiological mature stage is followed by senescence. So we can say when fruits attain the maximum growth and maturation. So after that, ripening starts, and after ripening, senescence starts. So senescence means the just we can say the yellowing, or we can say the turning color of the fruits. So after that, automatically shaded or just slightly when we will touch the fruits, it will shaded from the mother plant and easily separate out. So that one is the physiological maturity of the fruits. Second one, horticultural maturity. So in horticultural maturity, stage at which growth and development is optimum for specific use. So here is the little different thing in that growth and development is at optimal stage, that is only for specific use. So that is the that stage, that specific use means the that stage is acceptable for consumers or market oriented. So if we will go further of that specific use, or we consider that particular stage, if we will delay that produce in harvesting, then fiber content will be hard, and particularly consumers or market oriented, they never accept that. So horticultural maturity is plays very important role. So in this one, horticultural maturity is three: a physiological immature, firm and mature, or harvest ripe. So physiological immature fruits, if we will harvest, then that will drastically affect the yield, or we can say the production. So physiologically immature fruits are never harvest. And second one, the firm and mature. So we can see that will attain the good size and shape, and that will be firm enough, so we can harvest. After that, the harvest ripe. So I gave you example of okra and cucumber. So if we will harvest the okra as well as the cucumber at physiological immature stage, that will affect. What is the problem in that? Because physiologically immature okra or cucumber fruits, that will be small in size, as well as the girth is low, so that will reduce the yield. Then number three is commercial maturity. Commercial maturity is the state of plant organ required by a market. It commonly bears little relation to physiological maturity and may occur at any stage during development stage. So commercially, commercial maturity plays very important role, particularly for marketing purpose. So in this one, little relation to physiological maturity, not so big, and may occur at any stage during the development stage. So particularly growers or farmers, they should pay the proper attention so they can harvest the commercially mature produce at proper stage, proper development stage. Then next and last one is the harvest maturity. It may be defined in terms of the physiological maturity and horticultural maturity. It is a stage in which will allow fruits and vegetables at its peak condition when it reaches to the consumers and develop acceptable flavor or appearance and having the adequate shelf life. So what happens sometimes if we delay the harvesting of these produce, then it will reduce the shelf life. So we should pay the proper attention in harvest maturity stage to pick up or to harvest or to pluck from the mother plants, so they can have the nice flavor and good appearance and also have very good shelf life. So here I would like to give the examples of watermelon and muskmelon. So when that watermelon and muskmelon they mature, then you can easily smell the flavors of that produce as well as also get the very good appearance. And if we harvest at proper stage, then their shelf life will be adequate. So all these things are not small things. These things are very important and we should pay the proper attention for that. Then vegetables are harvested at harvest maturity stage, which will allow it to be at its peak condition when it reaches the consumers. So some vegetables we should harvest at peak condition. So after harvesting, we can do the packaging, we can send in the market or during the marketing in the wholesale market as well as the retail markets, consumers happily can accept that produce. It should be at a maturity that allows the produce to develop an acceptable of appearance. So the maturity of vegetables and are about the produce levels because in some horticultural commodities or produce, um, consumers can access the maturity based on the flavor and appearance. That one is the, we can say, the visual uh, analysis of the produce. So based on that we can say this is the ready for harvesting and consumers can easily accept for purchasing. Then it should be at a size required by the market and should have an adequate shelf life. So if we harvest the produce at immature stage, then no further development, though no quality changes in that and no biochemical changes occurs after that. So what we have to do, we have to harvest at full mature stage. If by any reason, if we are delaying, then if we harvest at later stage, then we can harvest, but we can consume that as soon as possible because after that it's very difficult to store for shelf life. So that will cause the problem in storage because those produce have less shelf life. So it is very, very important. So still we have discussed the different types of maturity. So now we should know what are the important factors that affect the maturity. So now we will discuss the factors affecting the maturity of the horticultural produce, particularly fruits and vegetables. So factors affecting maturity, number one is the temperature. So sometimes in ambient conditions, temperature is higher. So if temperature is too high, that gives the early maturity. So high temperature, we can see the fast on the maturity of fruits and vegetables. So here I would like to give some examples. Number one is the variety of grape, that is the gulabi pink variety of grape, normally matures in 100 days in western India, but only in 82 days are enough in the warmer northern India. So now you can see here, normally gulabi pink grape mature in western India is in 100 days. But if temperature is high, we can say in warmer northern India, it will mature within 82 days. So you can see here 100 minus 82 is 18 days. So in northern warmer regions, gulabi pink grapes can mature 18 days earlier. So this is a major factor in this. So normally what should we do, particularly in the protected environment? So if in the market demand is high and we want the fast ripening of grapes, then we can artificially increase the temperature. So we can go for the rapid ripening process in the grapes. Second example is lemon and guava takes less time to mature in summer than in winter. So we can see the in lemon, we can see the you can take example of Baramasi lemon. So you can get the yield round the year. So you can observe the clear cut differences. Lemons mature faster in the summer season as compared to winters, because in summer temperature is high as compared to the winter. And here lemon and guava both are the two different kinds of fruits. Lemon is non-climatic fruit and guava is climatic fruits. And in guava is also fruiting round the year. So you the three Bahar treatments, Ambe Bahar, Mrit Bahar and As Bahar. So in this you can see the clear cut differences. Guava matures faster in the summer season as compared to in winter season. So in this, if you are growing the lemons, guava, grapes, and also the other fruits, then you must know the all these information about that particular fruit crops, and based on you can make the decision and you can harvest the accordingly. So temperature plays a significant role on the ripening. So in higher temperature conditions, biochemical reactions will be faster as compared to low temperature. Second one is the soil. So soil on which the fruit tree is grown affects the time of maturity. So you know the soil textures, clay soils, loamy soils, and sandy soils. So in these ones also soil type directly affect the fruit time of fruit maturity. So grapes are harvested earlier on light sandy soils as compared to clay soils. So we can say if we are growing the grapes in sandy soils, that will mature faster as compared to in the heavy clay soils. Then size of planting material. In terms of the size of planting material, this factor in propagated fruits affect fruit maturity.